Hey everyone, this is Rebecca MC, and this is my review of Hades. Let's start with what is Hades? Hades is a game by Supergiant Games, who also did Bastion and Transistor, and Hades was released in 2020. So, why do a review of a game released in 2020? Well, this game got very highly critically acclaimed at the time of release, and sometimes we like a game just because it's shiny and new. So, I decided a few years later to see if the novelty wore off. Hades is a roguelike game, which, if you didn't know, a roguelike has procedurally generated levels, meaning that you don't play the same exact levels every single time, although they do end up being very similar to each other. And deaths are permanent. There's no checkpoints or saving, you need to start over if you die, although generally you will get resources that will allow you to buy permanent upgrades so that the next time it's a little bit easier. So, seeing as it's a roguelike, you will die in Hades. A lot. It will get very frustrating, and it's got a steep learning curve. This is also a very fast-paced hack and slash game, and while it doesn't have nudity or swearing, it does get pretty violent. So this game may not be for you if you don't enjoy this kind of gameplay. This game takes place in the underworld of Greek mythology, so you'll run into classic Greek mythology figures such as Achilles, Sisyphus, Cerberus, various other gods and goddesses from Olympus, and of course, Hades. You play as Zagreus, the son of Hades, who is trying to escape the underworld. I won't spoil it for you, but there is a reason he's trying to get out. The House of Hades is your home base, so this is where the game starts, and you go back there every time you die. This is also where you can talk to different people who appear regularly at the House of Hades, and where you can upgrade your permanent abilities. You'll also be unlocking various weapons and accessories as you go through the game, and you can switch them out at the house. Once you start your run through the underworld, you go through 4 regions: Tartarus, Asphodel, Elysium, and the Temple of Styx, each having different enemies and environments, and a difficult boss at the end. Once you're past all of those, you'll have to face Hades. In these runs, you'll get temporary upgrades and abilities, such as additional health points and abilities called boons from the Olympian gods, which give you additional magic abilities. But you lose it all when you die and need to start over. Okay, so what is the actual review? Well, first, I will tell you I don't like roguelikes. They are very frustrating for me, and video games should be, fun. I don't know about you, but I do not have fun when I'm frustrated. And I really liked this game. Even if you don't like roguelikes, give it a chance. I mean, I didn't like roguelikes, and I'm also a very critical person, and I still really, really liked this game. The combat is really, really fun. It takes a long time to learn everything about the game, especially since they don't really tell you anything in the beginning, but you learn to pick it up pretty quickly. The controls are great, they're responsive, combat is very well balanced. This game just has straight up good gameplay. Alright, so as far as the story goes, if you like Greek mythology like I do, you will love this story. It's extremely well written, and there's tons of great dialogue. You get new dialogue every time you come back to the House of Hades, and new dialogue with bosses and mini bosses as well. Each character has a ton of personality, and the artwork is absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at this portrait of Nyx. Look at it. However, it is very difficult to get to the true ending. If you want to see that, completing one run of the underworld is not enough. You have to do it 10 times. That is very difficult and time consuming. I think that you should only have had to do this 5 times. 10 times is too many times. So there are a lot of side things you can do. Some characters have side quests with their own little storylines, and there is an epilogue after you get the main storyline ending. I decided to complete some of these side storylines and get the epilogue. But at this point in the game, I've already played about 60 hours, which is a lot for me. I'm not a completionist, but I just wanted to clean up some of the remaining things to do in the game after I got the main storyline ending. Let me tell you, getting that epilogue was an absolute grind. I must have played another 60 hours just trying to get the epilogue or do some of the side stuff. See, the way that it works is you need to max out or get close to maxing out relationships with the gods and goddesses by giving them nectar, a resource you can find in the game. After you give them nectar, a heart in their profile will be filled out. Once you get enough hearts, you'll reach a locked heart, and you need to do certain requirements for each character in order to unlock their heart. However, it's random if you run into the god or goddess or other NPC that you need to develop your relationship with. Then for some of them, it's another random chance if they happen to say a certain line of dialogue that will trigger the next phase or unlock their heart. So first you just have to hope that they show up, then you have to hope that they say what you need them to say. The game should have made this easier to do. The amount of work I did to get to the epilogue was just not worth it to me. With that being said, I did really like this game and have now played about 118 hours, which is pretty insane for me. I usually stop playing a game at around 50 hours. Gameplay, story, artwork, environments, music, characters, all really great, and I was going to give this game a 10 out of 10, but having to complete 10 runs to get the true ending and the grind to get to the epilogue is what brought it down for me. So my final score is now a 9 out of 10. I definitely think it's worth it, and if you need any other reason at all to play, it is definitely for our good boy Cerberus. And there's my Hades review. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please like and subscribe, or don't, it's your life. Let me know what you thought about Hades in the comments, and I will see you in my next one.